it's sure to be a doozy on Saturday in the formerly known as the Carrier Dome, now, as we all know, the JMA Wireless Dome in Syracuse. This is a 6 o'clock Saturday game, Carolina and the Orange. And neither one of these teams, Adam, are having a season that matches the historical level of these programs. We know the struggles the Tar Heels have had fighting for their NCAA existence. Not existence as a program, but ability to get into the tournament. Syracuse, that window's probably closed. They're 11-14 on the season and 5-9 in ACC play, and just lost to Miami, who's not good. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't beat the Tar Heels. Carolina has, as we know, has not proven on these consistent on a consistent basis this season to be able to go in, get it done, and get out. And so, Adam, that's really the story, I think, in this game and every game until the Duke game on March 8th. So we're going to have 3 weeks here of Carolina playing teams that I think the Tar Heels are better than. But it is in no way guaranteed that Carolina will win the game. This team has not shown the ability to win 7 consecutive games. In fact, the longest winning streak this year is just 4 for Carolina. But it feels like they can't let one of these next 7 games before Duke. It would be very detrimental to the Tar Heels to lose any of these, and yet they haven't really shown that you feel 100% confident that they can go in and get it done. So we'll talk about the personnel and all that stuff in a second. For Carolina, you got to go do it. If you want to have any hope of playing in the tournament, you just got to go do it, and you got to go do it for 3 straight weeks until you play the Blue Devils.
The longest winning streak of the year so far is 4 games?
4, yeah.
This would require 6. But there's absolutely no cushion at all. I do not believe you can lose any of these next 6 games. And the only thing that winning these 6 games would give you is the ability to go into the Duke game saying, okay, if the Tar Heels could pull the upset of Duke on Senior Day in the Smith Center, that would put them fairly firmly in the conversation. Not lock up anything, nothing like that. But you don't have that opportunity if you don't win these next 6, which is something Carolina has not done prior to now. You also run the risk that one of these 6 teams suddenly gets hot. Like, for example, Georgia Tech, Carolina beat back in like July or sometime. And now all of a sudden, Georgia Tech seems like they might be pretty good. So you don't want that to happen because these are 6 wins that the Tar Heels really need. The problem is, even if you accumulate these wins, these are wins that you've already got very similar ones to these. The wins you really need are not available in these half dozen games. So go SMU because they're playing better. You need that to be as good a win as possible. But you got to win these 6, and Syracuse is the first one of the 6.
Yeah, I said 7. I meant 6. There's 7. I was thinking there were 8 games left. There are 7 games left. So the 6 games that we are referencing are Syracuse, NC State, Virginia, Florida State, Virginia Tech, and Miami. So those are just have-to-haves for Carolina. And then you see where you are after that.
That's just to stay on the fringe of the conversation. Not like we're not saying that will lock it up. That will keep you on the TV screen when they put up the teams that are kind of thinking they might have a chance.
Syracuse itself. J.J. Starling, the Notre Dame transfer, averages nearly 19 points per game. He's a good ACC-level player, has been for several years, and is a good player. He doesn't shoot the 3 particularly well, but neither did Victor Locken. He shoots 29%, but he gets to the rim a lot. You got to keep him from driving if you can. And watch out, Adam. Eddie Lampkin is he's like a fire hydrant down there. He's like a square. He's like SpongeBob SquarePants down there. And he just angles you out of his way, and he gets rebounds and lays it up. And so, I mean, his center of gravity is going to be lower than like Jalen. He can throw a hip into Jalen Washington, and I don't know where Jalen's going to end up. So, like, the Tar Heels have to be ready for his angular physicality.
Angular physicality?
Yep.
Syracuse has the stats that support their 11-14 record.
Yep.
They don't shoot very well. They don't defend very well. They foul quite a lot, one of the most in the ACC, which is an area which, as we have said, the Tar Heels need to improve on because that is a way to generate some offense. They don't force turnovers themselves, which is a bit unusual for them in terms of Syracuse history. They don't get a lot of assists. Like, they have the profile of an 11-14 team that you feel like the Tar Heels should be better than. But again, we have been here before. They're not as experienced as Clemson. They're not as tall as Clemson, and certainly not as tall as Duke. But it's on the road on a Saturday night. It'll be snowy. Not inside, hopefully. If it is snowy inside, they should move it to the Smith Center, quite honestly.
Yeah, you may want to go back to before Carolina played Boston College. And I bet Adam sounded exactly the same.
I did.
And so just a reminder that game took overtime to win.
At home.
So it is 6 o'clock, Carolina and Syracuse, and we'll be on there at 5 p.m. 6 o'clock, Adam. Surprising game time.
Well, I think when
these are two big names that are playing each other.
When they were picking the game times.
Yeah.
And you've got Auburn, Alabama on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
What time is that game?
4 o'clock.
Yeah. I bet they wish they had that one back.
So
you can't have it.
So, you just got to win it. Just got to win. Go win.